When you're waterproofing your basement, the number one thing that I have to emphasize is make sure that you get the right company for your particular type of foundation and what your particular water problem is. There's no better example than the job I'm on right now. We did it 3 years ago.
This basement shows exactly why the wrong system leads to failure. The competitor's shallow channels couldn't handle major storms. We begin by removing the failed drainage and cutting a proper trench. This allows us to install a system designed to relieve water pressure where it truly builds, beneath the floor. Full-size perforated 4-inch corrugated pipe is laid in a deep bed of stone, ensuring water flows freely and never backs up the way surface channels do. Every section ties into sump pump stations. Inside, we add a drain board at the cold joint along the walls, sealed with vapor barrier sheeting. This creates a lasting barrier against seepage where it most often begins. Discharge lines are connected, hidden neatly along the walls and routed underground, out through the foundation, under the driveway and lawn, and directly to the street drain. Here, 4 basins are installed and fitted with dual 3/4 horsepower pumps, powerful enough to perform in the heaviest rain events. Finally, the trench is sealed with 4 inches of SuperCrete, a self-healing concrete that permanently integrates with the floor slab, creating a seamless, durable finish. Outside, the lawn is restored and reseeded for spring growth. Inside, sump lids are sealed and cleaned. The result? A SuperDry system built for storms, not sunny days, with performance that lasts a lifetime. We're going to be talking with the homeowner. We just talked with the superintendent who takes care of the property, manages the property. He has rebuilt this beautiful, beautiful finished basement 3 times that I know of, maybe more, before they called American Dry Basement Systems. Tried several different things in order to waterproof it. They get so much water. He told the story where he got a call, frantic, from the homeowner.
And says, Angel, can you help us? Can you help us? And I said, what happened? And I saw there was a big storm, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go there. And when I came, I was surprised that you couldn't go into the basement. Just 2 steps down, that's it. Then the rest, it was filled with water. We were mostly afraid that the water would keep going to the first floor, so we started to waterproof and carrying furniture or whatever. And I could see the refrigerator floating high.
Now, they'd already had a waterproofing system put in that just was completely mismatched for the type of water problem that was in here, not even to mention it was wrong for the type of foundation that this house has. With the waterproofing system in, he said that it would bring it down about 1 foot when they would get this type of a storm. And that's when they called the company, and they just refused to come out because they realized that their system was never, ever going to be able to solve this particular water problem in this house. We got a call after a monster rain a couple weeks ago in the Westchester County area. They actually said it was the most precipitation in 1 hour in the history of Westchester County. So with that type of weather, the homeowners here would normally have been completely frantic, but they had a few years of American Dry's SuperDry system in here.
And there's been some very heavy rains since they put it in about 3 years ago, and we have not had a drop of water.
You know, I think that what impressed us so much about your company is that your concept made much more sense to us. We both have science backgrounds, and you went closer to the source of the water so that we would have a greater chance of staying dry. And we're so happy that we have your system in our house now because we feel so much more confident. Before, we had so much anxiety. Every time we heard that there would be a forecast of a lot of rain, we would get very anxious. And now we're so relaxed because we feel very confident.
Yeah, we have much higher powered pumps of better durability, and the many more that were put in very well. I mean, they were installed very nicely and are really not noticeable to anyone unless they go looking for the pumps. So it's very well situated, and they have been very effective, and they were installed deeper so that they could start the pumping before it reached the surface. And that's a big difference for us.
I will also say that your staff,
Very nice.
every member, all your workers, every member of your crew was wonderful, kind, very professional. The job was done so cleanly and neatly. And we now have an area that is fully livable, fully furnished, and it's our favorite place for our children and grandchildren to gather. We're really very grateful.
Yes, we really are. And at the time, we did not have an option. There was really no other option.
You know, if we hadn't come across American Dry Basements, we really would have had to move. We're really grateful because you changed our lives.
To the top of a mountain.
Well, we've had a really spectacular outcome to an extremely difficult situation. The customers are thrilled. Actually, we're talking about moving, and this is a beautiful area. It's Westchester County, New York. They have a lovely, lovely home. It's not often that when you're working that you get that kind of feedback that it changed their lives, the type of waterproofing that you've done. They were through all kinds of problems, from water this high in their basement, trying other companies. I don't often go where I'm going to go right now, but countless times, and if you watched a bunch of our videos, we're tearing out systems that were put in, and it was just the wrong system. It was the wrong volume. It was the wrong type of approach for that particular type of foundation. But I want to go one step further. I've run into now with other people getting estimates or even doing work and being very, very unhappy with it, where they wanted to get waterproofing done and ended up with this big monstrosity of structural piers and supports and things like that. I've been in this business for 40 years, the likes of which I maybe have seen twice. They do it on every estimate that they give just to raise the quote up in order to make it a higher dollar value. My suggestion would be really do your research on who you're going to pick to do any kind of work on your foundation. In particular, run into somebody, they're new in this area. They say they've been in business for, we'll call it 9 years, but they've only been here a couple of months. All the reviews look really, really good. What you have to do, ask a company, how long have you been in this area doing work right here? I did some research on somebody and found that they were from the Midwest, checked out the different states that they were doing business in, and found that they had over 1,000 complaints with the BBB. This is the kind of stuff that you'd like to know, that if people did know, they would never, ever, ever have them come and give them a quote, let alone do business with them. I don't want to get into it. I normally don't go here, but I've been running into so much of it. I'm just doing a disclaimer, trying to warn the people out there. I've done so many tear outs, and people ended up doing basement waterproofing twice before they had us do it, and had the kind of results that we just saw with Harvey and Phyllis. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, hit the like button, and until next time, enjoy your dry basement.